So I'm in block 6, we're in block 6, and I got the water running, the overflow to the irrigation pond runs in that big overflow, that big culvert, and then it runs down the hill here underground in a big, oh, I think it's a 2-foot culvert. I think it's this size right here. This is what I was telling you about. We've got to get this fixed and functioning. I keep reading more and more about El Nino, you know, and it could mean a wet El Nino, which means it could be very wet. If that happens, I really think we need to have this in place. We need to have this in place anyway. We've been putting it off. I mean, nobody's ever brought it up, and I keep seeing it and knowing that we need to get this working so it's not washing our soil away. We've been lucky, actually, not lucky. We've been in a drought for 4 years, so we haven't had a lot of water. We have had some crazy winters, as you know, but which did wash away a lot. So anyway, bottom line, we need to get this fixed. So I'll talk to you more about it later, but right now I'm just assessing the situation. We got a lot of this going on where they're just completely plugged. Right now I got water running at the very top in the overflow. I'm running it down to see just how clogged it is. These are supposed to look like this. Somewhat. They're supposed to look like this. So you can see down in there. And I do have running water, but not the kind of flow I'd like. And the worst part is the second block 6B up there, where Jimmy's standing. I don't know if you can see him, but that next block up, these drains are in the middle of the rows, and they've been buried for years, and they've been mowed. Before we even got here, the mowers went over in the discs, and they're just all chewed up, and whoever did it didn't lift up when they mowed, and they just chopped them down. And anyway, it's a mess, but it can be fixed, and I really think we need to get this going before winter hits. So, and get some, what a plan is, get them all unclogged, get the water bars in, and so it'll come down, it'll run across a couple of rows, and then go into these drains, and then run underground the rest of the way. It's a nice setup. It's a nice design that we have here. It's just they didn't maintain it. Richard didn't maintain it, and it needs to be fixed and then maintained. And here's the end one. Okay, I'll be right there. Okay, I'll wait a second then. Anyway, this is the end one. Jimmy just informed me that water just broke through up there. So anyway, and it goes underground under the road here and comes out this big culvert over here. And that's where it runs down into the creek. So, and then there's one more catch basin right here for this big ditch that runs alongside the road. And it's supposed to run into this one right here. You can just see the lip of it. It's supposed to run into there, and this is supposed to be blocked off. And so this doesn't wash out every year. Anyway, I can get it fixed. The other thing that needs to be done is to get rid of some of this water, and you and I talked about it, is this ditch here coming on the outside of the last row here, is we need to establish that ditch more and get it fixed. We did a little work up top when we were doing the trees. I had Tom do a little bit of work, but only like a 20-30 foot section. We need to bring it all the way down and keep it off the vineyard and run down here and either run across the road or put in a culvert. We could put a ditch across the road, just a winter ditch, and then every year we'd fill it in and, like I say, dig it out every year so it can run across, but whatever. But we definitely need to get that in. That would get a lot of this water off the hill in this ditch, get it off the vineyard, keep it off the vineyard, bring it down here. And then everything that falls on the vineyard, these water bars would take them across and get them in those drains. So anyway, what else was I going to say? So I talked to the excavator Dave, who's up here working. He said he could do that, not a big deal. Or I could get Tom over here to dig it, or we might be able to rent a small excavator. That might be the way to go, because we're going to need something real small to get in between the rows here to put our water bars in. It's just too many and too hard to dig by hand. It would take me and Jimmy a whole summer to dig them by hand, so we need a machine. So maybe to rent a small one would be better. But anyway, I'll talk to you more about that. But I just want to let you know, I feel we really need to get on this and get this going. Otherwise, if we really had a bad rain for more than, you know, a one-day gully washer, we could lose a lot of soil here. Anyway, everything else is looking good besides the crop. I still have to take a video up there of the pool and the pool deck, and I'll get that to you later. Hope you had a great time on your vacation, and we'll see you hopefully next week.